diamonds, Miley Cyrus, private jet, private pilot. Look at me, stylish.
Today, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Murray. This one complete to Devin Funchess. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The opposite 40. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 43 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. All the way in for a Charger touchdown.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do now. The key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play. Yeah.
That, too.
A throw to the middle taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
23 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Running on first down, Eckler.
Austin Eckler, the ball.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
A loss of 7 yards.
Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Murray with a 3rd and long. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Carson, the ball carrier.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
It all the way to the 6. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was that. Last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So the Broncos coming out now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it for the first time with Williams.
Jamal Williams.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making a big-time play?
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Now the throw taken in by Chark. past the 20. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 21-yard.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The score, Chargers 14, Broncos nothing.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and he'll be out right at the 35. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
First and 10.
Show a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking a touchdown. DJ Chark with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
The ball carrier.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 33.
It's a game.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Murray. That's into the hands of Eckler. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy. What a nice pickup.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Jamal Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 brings up 2nd.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
3rd and 12.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now from Murray. He'll get this to Eckler. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in the game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. With it is Jackson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I have no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Right back to him on first down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. The Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now back to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. DJ Chark as the first half is winding down. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by Seibert up and good, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes just out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
So here are the Chargers to take over. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. DJ Shark, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
That's so tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. This is Gabriel out on the left side. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jamal Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
L.A. readies for its next possession. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Falling on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. This one is tight end out on the right side. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. There's a throw into the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the next.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
Denver's offense ready to go again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Taken down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On the ground, it's Eckler. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he will find his man on the end route. Complete.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
From the gun, Murray taken in by the tight end Doyle. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Here's Murray. Steps away. He may try and run for this.
Murray on the keeper.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Ball carrier. He's brought down at the 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And he's going to go down again.
But many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
2nd and 6.
Now they try the right side here. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 36-yard line.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. More from L.A. in a moment. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try to make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
The pass.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Broncos will take over on downs. First down, Murray. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
And this is incomplete. Incomplete. So they tried to go for it for 5, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now a handoff looking right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
32-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try.
For the field goal. A 55-yard attempt.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Today's